or work there?
They okay, so after I got out of the Mountain Manor in Baltimore, they said they were sending me to a halfway house. They sent me to a homeless shelter. Straight homeless shelter.
What was it called?
The West Side Men's Shelter. On the west end of Baltimore, but right in Catonsville. Literally, right next to 695. And so it was terrible and shitty because it's a homeless shelter, and I should not have been there because everyone gets high at homeless shelters. It's a bunch of homeless people.
Yeah.
And so I started using after 2 weeks, called a charge. I was blacked out. I was so high. And I broke some car window or something. Mm-hmm. And I got kicked out of there and was homeless. And then I showed up. I heard about the Helping Up mission. And I just I got it right up there, and same day they gave me a bed and let me live there. And you have to do they're really big on Jesus Christ, and I'm not. And I tried, but you go to church every morning, 2 Bible classes throughout the day. They keep you really busy. But I mean, I knew going in the whole God thing, but I didn't want to sleep outside anymore.
Yeah. You're willing to go to church and not...
Well, for 2 weeks. I left after...
I'm willing to go to church for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I left after 2 weeks.
So those were Helping Up mission. It's not a rehab, but it's a place... I don't know if it's true what they classify it as.
It's like an RSS run off donations.
Interesting. Okay. And then you've had 2 traditional 28-day programs or whatever.
Yeah.
14 to 28-day programs.
Yep.
And what is it about long-term residential that you think, why would you make that recommendation?
Once again, just because it takes time to change. I mean, you don't make changes in 28 days. I mean, you get drugs out of your system, but your mindset doesn't change. You can't come up with any real new life goals in 28 days. It's just not enough time to change anything.
Yep.
You have to have some kind of plan afterwards. That's why when they told me, come here, well, we can set you up with a halfway house and everything afterwards, I was like, all right, cool. Last time it was just 28 days and I was going right back to my apartment. This time I'm going to a halfway house and it'll be a change of scenery and I'll have all that stuff, but it didn't really work out like that.
Yeah.
So it's just not enough time to change.
How easy is it to access, in your experience, residential program?
Pretty easy.
People just aren't ready for it?
Well, this place, I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
And apparently Mountain Manor in Baltimore hasn't heard of it either. Because when I had 3 days left...
You think they should, right?
Huh?
Seems like they would have heard of it.
Yeah. Well, they have some kind of deal with this homeless shelter where the homeless shelter drives a van and picks them up and takes them back to the IOP so that they continue after their treatment.
Yeah.
It's just money stuff. But they got some kind of deal with them. They even told us that. And they were like, everybody goes to West Side Men's Shelter, it's great. Fuck no. It's terrible. But why was I talking about that?
Why people don't seek... Why it's hard, less people seek residential, I feel like, than seek 28-day program.
Well, for me, that was... You're right.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just never heard of this place.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I talked to my counselor at the Mountain Manor in Baltimore, and she said I could use her computer to Google a place. Mm-hmm. I sat down and she said, you can use my computer to Google something. I thought there was a plan. But anyways, I looked it up and I just typed in long-term drug or halfway houses in Carroll County or something. And this never came up. I just never heard of it. Not until I was in jail. I mean, at that point, I probably would have wanted something like this. I probably would have been okay with that. But, the Robbie going into first rehab, I just wanted to get in, make my family and everyone around me happy.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have any plans, but I was pretty sure I was going to go back to using, which I did.
Well, it's a long process, as you described.
Yeah.
It's not just when you started here that process started.
Yeah. Well, my mental process in this whole thing started in jail. I mean, honestly, the only way that has worked for me is being forced into it. Mm-hmm. The first month I was in jail, all I wanted to do was get out as soon as possible and go back to doing drugs. I didn't care about where I was going to live or any of that. I just knew I wanted to do drugs, and that's all I cared about. And then after like month 2, like my mom came to see me a couple times, and like my sister and like her kids were like writing me these letters and stuff, and like I don't know, I started to feel guilty. Like I'd never really felt guilty about the whole family aspect of it, but like I don't know, I guess I developed a conscience and started to feel bad and realized like maybe I do want to get sober. And like there was a lot of back and forth. Like a bad day I'd be like, fuck man, I can't wait to get high when I get out, blah blah blah. Yeah. So there was a lot of back and forth, and then by the time it was time for me to get out of jail, I was pretty sure I wanted to like get clean and do the right thing, but there was still a lot of me that didn't. But yeah.
But when you went in, you were certain you did not want to get clean, and then you got yourself to the point of like, there's both.
Being open.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
and then you got yourself even further along. Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly with me, like I was just so like, I guess just stubborn and scared.
Yeah.
I was really scared. I didn't know it, but I was really scared. And I mean, forcing me into it with jail and drug court was the only thing that worked.
Sometimes that's necessary, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you would make the recommendation to be in a program. It might be helpful for people to be in a program that they're mandated to be in initially, depending on who the person is.
Like drug court. I think drug court's great.
Yeah.
Like, before I got in drug court, everybody in jail, everybody is like, don't do drug court. It's a trap. They set you up. They want you to fail. But only 1% of people fail. Everyone in the jail, for some reason, thinks that only 1% of people pass drug court. It's like 55% of people pass drug court.
They do. Their perception is that they do all these urine screens and they make you do all of these things.
Yeah, and everyone says they try to set you up. They're really big on that. It's just, people in jail are idiots. Well, pretty much all of them. A lot of them are idiots. Stupid.
That has not been your experience?
No. I think it's been great. I mean, in drug court you can tell, like, who wants to do good, who's actually doing good, who doesn't care and is just lying, just almost blatantly lying to the judge and every drug court.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But I think it's great. Like, it helps me a lot. Like, yeah, I've got a really good attitude about stuff now, about life in general. Like, I'm pretty much always happy, but I mean, there's still times when it's like, it gets hard, you know? But I've got that drug court, like, right behind me all the time. Like, they keep me really busy. Like, I get 3 drug tests a week. And plus, they randomly put me on this patch where they leave it on for a week, and then they take it off and send it to a lab. Yeah. And even during those weeks, I still get those 3 drug tests. And I have 2 different counselors. I finished IOP, but they were like, well, you still need to be in treatment. So I had to go back to Mountain Manor in Westminster and put myself in the hour-a-week classes. So I'll have to do that until April next year. And I'm still on probation with a probation officer that I see also. And I also have some guy at Access Carroll who I have to go see once a month too. So they keep me really busy.
So there's 2. So what about that busyness is helpful?
Not only has it given my life some kind of structure, I guess, but just the accountability. Because like all these different counselors and stuff, I have like build these relationships with them, and like I actually like get along with them really great now. Like. Which my probation officers always hated me before, you know, like I was always just like barely squeaking by and I don't know how I hadn't violated, but now I actually have good relationships with them, so like I would actually like be ashamed, which is very new to me. And
that's really different than like I could get in more trouble, but you have accountability in a lot of different ways. Like you have relationships with people who want you to show up. So you have to show up or you're going to feel bad.
Yeah, like there's the obvious reasons of, I have to go back to jail and everything, but
more powerful probably is like, I care about these people now and what like they think of me.
Like that and then like my family and everything, just like, it's a lot.
So any other recommendations besides residential that you would make to a person and starting recovery?
Not really. I mean, I just think I think the long term is key thing.
Mm-hmm. Would you recommend medication to people?
Honestly, I'd only recommend it like if I knew the person. Like if someone like told me their story and told me how, like chronic relapsers, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine.
But someone who's like kind of new to it, maybe not.
Yep. So you'd make a determination based on like what their processes look like thus far.
But if I ruled the world and I had say over everything, and I had to make a decision on whether or not to give it to everybody who started treatment in any rehab, I would definitely give everybody the option and like show them that it can help them a lot, because like I said, like a lot of people are really scared going into recovery, and that just, it can take the weight off your shoulders, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It really makes it easier.
Yeah.
Especially because, I mean, a lot of people are just scared of the withdrawal. Like they've never had to really go through it, and they just hear about how terrible it is, and they see all this crazy stuff in movies and everything.
Yeah.
And so that's what they're most scared of, and they'll be like, hey, take Suboxone, you don't have to go through that.
Yeah. So because you don't want to deter people from trying, is what you're saying. You want to help people get into the process.
Yeah. I mean, like Mountain Manor and Emmitsburg, the way they do it, like if you're feeling really bad when you go in, they do like a week-long Suboxone taper.
Yeah.
Which I think is good.
Yeah.
But for the long-term Suboxone, I don't know. I don't know if that's for everybody. Maybe.
Jury's still out.
It's just so much different. I mean, everyone's just unique. It just has so much to do with how your attitude is, what you really want. Like, not what you think you want, but what you deep down want, you know?
Yeah. And that can be hard to determine like that early on in the process.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I thought I knew, but...
You learned about yourself along the way.
A lot.
That's good. That's what therapy and all this work on yourself is supposed to do, right?
Yes. It's been good.
Good. Well, it sounds like you're in a really good place. You like your job. You're going to transition to living with family. You're kind of getting ready to spread your wings. I couldn't think of another expression. And I hated myself for saying that expression, but I couldn't think of anything else.
It's fitting.
Fly the coop?
Yeah.
That was the only other one that was coming up that didn't seem right.
It's also fitting. RSS.
But congratulations. It sounds like you're in a really good place based on what you're saying.
Getting my license will make me a lot happier also.
Yeah. Be a little more independent.
Yeah. Like my only escape right now of this place, because I don't really talk to a lot of it. I have a couple friends here, but I pretty much just keep to myself. And like now my only escape is I have a bike, and I just like, if I get frustrated,
ride in circles.
I just go like there's trails and stuff,
cool.
and like there's nice areas around here, so I just go for nice long bike rides.
Seems like a good coping strategy.
It's nice.
Good for your
I like my bike.
Health. It's good.
Yeah, I got fat in jail. All you do is sit around and eat carbs.
Yeah. Well, they're supposed to give you some that time, right?
Well, like rec?
Yeah.
No.
You don't like actually.
In Carroll County, they have like, it's a kind of outdoor brick walled room.
Yeah.
It's only outside because it has like a giant grate on top of it, and you can kind of see the sky. And there's like a basketball.
So didn't feel like actually outside to you?
No. I mean, like, there's always like guys that work out, so like I always get in with them, so I can have like workout partners and stuff, but it's so hard. Because, like, food is all you have to look forward to.
Yeah.
Like, food, or, like, if you hope that someone smuggled in tobacco that day so you could get, like, those little pouches.
Yeah. Snooze? No.
It's
dip.
Dip. It's dip. I'm not a dipping guy, but in jail, I am certainly a dipping guy.
Give anything to break the monotony.
Yeah, like that was like what I look forward to, because I worked in the kitchen there. And so like every day it was like, man, I hope he got away with getting those in today. Like it like made or broke my day.
I couldn't read your handwriting. Haynes.
That's terrible handwriting.
No, it's not terrible. It's just blended together.
Actually, one of my best friends in a drafting class in high school told me that if you write in all caps, it makes your handwriting neater. So I've been trying to do that for the past couple of years, and it really works. Or at least I think it does.
It's maybe easier to read, yeah. Because it doesn't blend, you don't blend the letters together as much. I'm going to stop this now. We're done.